Hello and welcome back to another video where we take a look at ways to escape those low ELO games. We're looking at the top lane today, we're looking at Poppy, and we are in Season 11. I'm going to have a lot to say about Season 11 in this video. I hope you stay tuned and soak up all this info. Know that this game is what I think is a microcosm of what you are going to experience throughout Season 11 until significant changes are made. This is a pretty fun video. There's a lot of fun stuff in it. But let's get into it. So I'm up against an Ornn, and one critical piece of information is that my Master Yi has, for at least present, disconnected and is not part of this game. But we're going to tune into all our lanes because some important stuff happens. Like this. This is Seraphine. 200 years experience, putting a lot of damage into that champ, and Seraphine grabs first blood. This is going to become crucial as we look at this video. But from time to time, we are definitely going to have to check in with one of the most influential members of this team, Master Yi. You keep holding down the fort back there, Yi. The rest of us will do some damage up here in these lanes, and we'll check back in on you periodically. There's really not much to talk about with this top lane just yet. Really, the Ornn and I are just trading. But there is something to talk about in mid lane. This is Seraphine getting another kill in a 2v1. Again, this is going to make sense later in the video, but just keep note that my damage dealers on my team are doing mad work. The Seraphine, and we'll see the Lucian in a little bit, do mad work in this game, and that defines Season 11. But here in the top lane, I'm trying to figure out a way to get an edge over this Ornn. And I thought I could skirmish with him a bit, and we did, but really it's the Ornn who provides me the best opening I could have. For reasons not known to me, the Ornn decides he needs to take a back. And so he just walks away from his lane. He doesn't bother pushing his wave under the turret or anything like that, and so I'm able to set up a freeze. I go ahead and I grab a quick back, and then I TP back to lane. Obviously I'm checking in on Master Yi here. What else would I be doing? But notice when I get back to lane, after I take the first minion, Ornn and I are both level 7 at this point, and I've got a huge wave sitting in front of me to eat, and he's still not even in lane. But let's take a look at what happens next. Rengar decides to come and gank my lane, but it doesn't do anything. So instead, he stands in the bush at the top of the lane. Let's compare his work to Yi's. Man, this is painful. Really painful. We have to divert for just a minute because something's shaking out in mid lane. I'm going to show you picture in picture here. That's right, Seraphine's still doing mad work and picking up another kill. And after all this time, I step forward in my lane, and who's still in that bush? That's right, the Rengar. He's done as much work over the past 30 seconds as our Yi has. Knowing that Seraphine is on her way to my lane, I get some damage down on both Rengar and Ornn. At the point where she arrives at my lane, Seraphine has easy work to clean this thing up. Keep in mind, she's pretty big at this point. She's already killed the Malzahar 3 times in lane, and Ornn can only back up. And so, with him backing up, I decide to push my wave, but another skirmish breaks out. That's right, the Malzahar roamed to follow the Seraphine, and I let her die. That was my fault. I didn't see the Malzahar coming, and so I focused on the Ornn. Ah well, it's okay. It's important to note here Ornn's lack of wave management. He doesn't shove his wave under my turret, and I'm able to do that to him. And then I grab a quick back to check on Yi. And then we head back to lane. I know I've got a big lead on the Ornn at this point because I've got more XP than he does, but that's really not as significant as what's breaking out in the bottom lane. Let's check in on the Malphite and the Lucian. A small skirmish breaks out, it's a 2v2, but look at the damage from that Lucian. The Ezreal has almost no counterplay at that point. Once he oversteps just a little bit, Lucian absolutely blasts him down. Meanwhile, we don't have that problem in the top lane. Ornn and I are all over the place, and overstepping doesn't really do much. Why is that? Because we're tanks. and tanks really don't do a whole lot right now. This is a Season 11 thing. For me, it's painfully obvious that the champs you want to be playing are high damage champs. The damage coming out of some of these champs is so big that there's really very little counterplay to it. It's almost like first blood gives you second, third, fourth, and fifth blood. Don't trust me, take a look at this Lucian. Look at the damage he's doing to that Lux. And then easy claps on the Ezreal. The Lux doesn't respect that there's a wave pushing and she's going to get dove, and so guess who's next? This is easy for the Lucian. He just walks right up to the Lux, one skill, and she's dead. You have to respect damage dealers in this meta. There's just absolutely no way around it. And in honesty, I don't think anything else really matters. You'll see a little more of what I'm talking about later in this video. But meanwhile in the top lane, after pushing the wave in a little bit, Ornn just backs up. I'm not making fun here. This is crucial for you to understand. I see it all the time in low ELO games. Why is the Ornn backing up here? The only thing he's doing is giving me the ability to completely push my wave right under his turret. The result is he's going to lose a lot of XP and a lot of gold. And everything that he's losing, I'm still gaining. And so it's like giving me a free kill. Would you just walk into your lane and let your enemy kill you? No. But that's what he's doing. He's giving me all this free gold while denying himself gold and XP. Hey, I'll take it. Let's go back and check on Yi. Okay, well, we'll keep checking in on him. Hopefully he'll show up in just a little bit. So back to the top lane, where I have a level lead over the Ornn, simply from wave management alone. You can see, neither of us has a kill, neither of us has a death. Our farm is pretty pitiful, to be honest. That's partly just the way I play. I don't farm very well on champs not named Yorick. And so, even with all that, I've got a lead on the Ornn. And this all comes down to wave management. But now something very, very crucial would happen next in this game. That's right. We got a reconnection from Yi. Let's check in. Yi, what are we going to do? Are you serious? So this entire game we've had no jungler, and yet we're in commanding lead. While I am ahead in the top lane, it is clear that the majority of our lead comes from mid and bottom lanes. And so, when a skirmish breaks out in the top lane, and I have my support here, this is easy claps. You can see the Rengar tries to initiate, but our Malphite's really, really big, and the Rengar is really far behind, so this is an easy kill. The Ornn does well to kind of walk away. We can't chase him down. We've used all our speed ups, and there's really not much for us to do. But we do shove the wave, and once again, the Ornn backs without trying to soak up any of that gold or XP. It's hard to blame him at this point. The game was kind of out of hand. And so, I grab the quick back, and then I head back to the top lane one more time. I want to take a second and say, I did have fun playing this game. My teammates were really fun, and everyone was chill and relaxed, but it's pretty clear that I have almost no impact in this game. This is something that we've seen in previous videos. Another 2v2 breaks out in the top lane, and Seraphine was a little bit overextended. I tried my best to save her, and I couldn't quite do it. Props to the Ornn for getting that last kill, but now he's going to die. I know I can take him on my own, but I don't even have to. My Malphite and Lucian show up, and like I said, the Lucian does so much damage at this point, you can't be in lane with him. So next we decide to knock down this tier 2 turret, and we're trying to get better control over the rest of the map. Lucian grabs a back, Malphite and I head to the mid lane to try to push that wave in. We really want to get this tier 1 middle turret. That's one of the most crucial turrets in the game. The enemy team shows up to defend it, and they do pretty well, and a skirmish breaks out. At this point I'm super confident, not because I can do anything, but because I know I've got all the damage on my side. Note, this is a 4 versus 5. Everyone on the enemy team is here, and this isn't even close. The damage coming out of the Seraphine and the Lucian is so big at this point, there's nothing the enemy team can do. They don't even get a return kill. And so now we have to go back, check in on Yi. Okay, that's the last time I'm checking in on Yi. Obviously, he's not going to contribute to this game at all. Or is he? Is being away from the game and not feeding kills over to the enemy damage dealers really what junglers should be doing? So I decided to split bottom, and we're going to watch the rest of the game with some split screen going on. While I'm pushing bottom and Yi is holding down the fort, the enemy team groups as 5 in the mid lane. Okay, last time it was a 4v5. This is a 3 versus 5. And again, the enemy team does not have a chance. 2 of them are basically out of this fight before it even starts. The damage coming out of the Lucian is massive. Seraphine is piling on as well. And I'm not throwing shade here, but Seraphine, don't do it! Don't do it! Oh. So, the most significant thing that happened at the end of this game was Seraphine accidentally stealing the Lucian's pentakill. The Lucian was gracious about it and the Seraphine apologized. I do want to note that I did knock down a turret before the enemy team forfeited, but that's it. That's life in the top lane for Season 11. If you want to be a contributing member to the team, maybe consider playing something other than a tank or a bruiser, because at this point, they don't do a whole lot. Hopefully Riot will tweak this soon, give us bruisers and tanks a chance to contribute to the game. Until then, consider picking up a damage dealer to play in that top lane. If you like this video even a tiny bit, please hit that subscribe button. It helps me out so much. See you next time.